Walk into a house built in 1920 and press your hand against the plaster wall. It feels cool, slightly damp in humid weather, and completely dry in winter. Now walk into a house built in 2020 and do the same thing. The wall feels different, tighter, sealed. And in a strange way, that tightness is exactly why so many new homes are quietly rotting from the inside out. This is one of the most overlooked problems in modern construction. Homes today are built to be airtight, heavily insulated, and energy efficient. On paper, this sounds like pure progress. In practice, builders have created a new category of problem that barely existed a century ago: trapped moisture. And most homeowners have no idea it is happening until they open a wall and find black mold, rotted studs, or a musty smell that never goes away no matter how many times they clean. To understand why this happens, you have to understand what a wall actually is. A wall is not just a barrier. It is a system that manages heat, air, and water vapor simultaneously. Get any one of those three wrong, and the wall stops working the way it should. Older homes, the ones built before the 1970s, were accidentally very good at handling moisture. Not because builders back then understood building science the way engineers do now, but because the materials and construction methods left the wall assembly loose enough to breathe. Solid masonry walls, single-pane windows, minimal insulation, and lime-based plasters and mortars all allowed water vapor to pass through the wall structure and evaporate outward. If moisture got into the wall from rain, plumbing, or humidity inside the home, it had a path out. The house exhaled. This is sometimes called a vapor open assembly. Air could move through gaps around windows and doors. Walls made from brick, stone, or wood lath and plaster did not have a sealed vapor barrier trapping water vapor deep inside the structure. Moisture came in, but it also left. The system was inefficient for heating and cooling, but it was remarkably self-correcting when it came to dampness. Now compare that to a modern wall assembly. A typical new home has a wood or steel frame, a layer of rigid foam insulation, house wrap, or a vapor barrier, exterior cladding, interior drywall, and often spray foam insulation inside the stud cavities. Every layer is designed to stop air movement. That is the entire point. Builders are required by energy codes to make homes as airtight as possible because uncontrolled air leakage is the single largest source of heat loss in a house. Air sealing saves energy. It lowers utility bills. It makes heating and cooling systems more efficient. But airtight does not mean waterproof, and it does not mean vaporproof. Water vapor is different from liquid water. It can pass through tiny gaps, through materials themselves, and through microscopic pores that no caulk or tape can fully seal. In an older home, that vapor had somewhere to go. In a modern home, it often gets trapped between layers that were never designed to let it escape. Here is where the real problem begins. Every house produces moisture from the inside, whether anyone notices it or not. Cooking, showering, breathing, houseplants, and even doing laundry release water vapor into the air. In a poorly ventilated modern home, that vapor has nowhere to go except into the wall cavities, where it meets a cold surface somewhere inside the wall structure during winter. When warm, moist air hits a cold surface, it condenses into liquid water. This is the exact same principle that causes a cold glass of water to sweat on a summer day. In an older leaky home, that condensation risk was lower because so much air was constantly exchanging with the outside. The house was drafty, yes, but drafty homes rarely developed hidden mold problems inside their walls because moisture never had the chance to accumulate. Ironically, the very inefficiency that made older homes expensive to heat also made them safer from a moisture standpoint. Modern homes flip this equation. They are efficient, but they require mechanical ventilation to replace the natural air leakage that used to remove moisture automatically. This is not optional in a well-built modern home. Building codes increasingly require mechanical fresh air systems, sometimes called energy recovery ventilators, specifically because airtight construction removes the accidental ventilation that older homes had for free. The problem is that many homes, especially those built in the 1980s through early 2000s, were constructed during a transitional period. Builders had learned to seal homes tightly for energy savings, but the science of vapor management and mechanical ventilation had not fully caught up in residential construction practices. The result was a generation of homes that were airtight enough to trap moisture, but not equipped with the ventilation systems needed to remove it. This gap is a major reason why so many homes from this era develop moisture-related problems that seem to appear from nowhere. Bathrooms are one of the clearest examples of this. In an older home with a single-pane window and a gap under the door, steam from a shower would eventually dissipate through natural air leakage. In a modern, sealed bathroom without a properly vented exhaust fan, that same steam condenses on the coldest surface in the room, often the exterior wall or the space directly behind the tile, where the temperature is lowest. Over months and years, this creates the exact damp environment that mold and wood rot need to thrive. Attics tell a similar story. Warm, moist air from inside a home naturally rises. In an older home, gaps around the ceiling and roof structure allowed this air to escape before it caused problems. and the attic space itself was often cold and well ventilated by design. In a modern home with a tightly sealed ceiling and improperly balanced attic ventilation, that same rising moisture can condense on the underside of the roof sheathing, saturating it slowly and silently until the plywood begins to delaminate or grow mold, sometimes years before anyone notices a stain on the ceiling below. Basements and crawl spaces follow the same pattern. Older basements were often unfinished stone or block, with enough natural airflow to keep moisture from accumulating dangerously, even though they were far from dry. Modern basements are frequently finished with drywall and insulation directly against foundation walls, sealing in ground moisture that has nowhere to migrate. Builders now use techniques like exterior waterproofing membranes and interior vapor barriers, specifically to prevent this. But when these details are missed or installed incorrectly, the basement becomes a moisture trap hidden behind a finished wall. It is worth being clear about something here. This does not mean older homes were better built, or that airtight construction is a mistake. Airtight, well-insulated homes use dramatically less energy, are more comfortable, and reduce a household's environmental impact significantly. The issue is not tightness itself. The issue is that tightness changes the rules, and many builders, code officials, and homeowners have been slow to fully adjust to those new rules. Building scientists describe this using a simple but important phrase: build tight, ventilate right. The idea is that if you're going to seal a house against air leakage, you must replace the natural ventilation that leakage used to provide with a deliberate engineered system. This typically means exhaust fans in bathrooms and kitchens that vent all the way outside rather than into an attic, whole house ventilation systems that bring in fresh air on a controlled schedule, and, in colder climates, heat recovery or energy recovery ventilators that exchange stale indoor air for fresh outdoor air while minimizing energy loss. Vapor barriers themselves have become a more nuanced topic than they once were. For decades, standard advice was to install a plastic vapor barrier on the warm side of the wall in cold climates to stop moisture from migrating into the wall cavity. This works well in consistently cold regions, but in mixed and humid climates, where the direction of vapor drive reverses between winter and summer, a rigid plastic vapor barrier can actually make things worse by trapping moisture on whichever side it enters from, with no way to dry out in either direction. This is why many building scientists now recommend smart vapor retarders, materials that change their permeability depending on humidity levels, allowing a wall to dry toward whichever side is drier at a given time of year. Materials matter enormously here as well. Older homes often used lime plaster and lime mortar, both of which are naturally vapor permeable and even somewhat self-regulating when it comes to moisture. Modern gypsum drywall and Portland cement-based products are far less forgiving. When these modern materials get wet and stay wet, they do not dry out gracefully. They swell, weaken, and become breeding grounds for mold within as little as 24 to 48 hours of sustained dampness. There's also a structural consequence that many homeowners never think about until it is expensive. Wood framing that stays consistently damp, even at levels far below what would be visibly wet, is vulnerable to wood-destroying fungi. These organisms do not need standing water. They need sustained moisture content in wood above roughly 20%, which is a condition easily created by trapped vapor inside a sealed wall cavity, especially in colder climates during winter months when condensation risk is highest. This is a large part of why real estate inspectors increasingly rely on moisture meters and sometimes infrared cameras when evaluating homes, especially newer construction. A wall can look perfectly fine, freshly painted with no visible staining, while the framing behind it is quietly saturated. Infrared cameras can reveal temperature differences that hint at trapped moisture long before it becomes visible, because wet wood and wet insulation conduct heat differently than dry material. So what does a well-designed modern home actually look like when it gets this right? It typically combines several strategies working together rather than relying on any single fix. Continuous exterior insulation reduces the temperature difference across the wall assembly, which lowers the risk of condensation forming inside the wall in the first place. A properly installed water-resistive barrier, sometimes still casually called house wrap, sheds bulk rainwater while still allowing some vapor to pass through. Mechanical ventilation systems remove moisture-laden air from kitchens and bathrooms directly to the outside, rather than dumping it into attics or wall cavities. And smart vapor retarders allow the wall assembly to dry in whichever direction conditions favor, rather than locking moisture on one side permanently. This is also why the phrase, "the house needs to dry in at least one direction," has become something of a guiding principle in residential building science. No wall assembly is perfectly waterproof. Some moisture will always find its way in, whether through a small roof leak, a failed sealant joint, or simple everyday humidity. What determines whether that moisture becomes a serious problem is not whether it gets in, but whether the wall assembly gives it a path to dry out before it causes damage. It is a subtle shift in thinking, but an important one. For most of construction history, the goal was to keep water out entirely. Modern building science instead assumes that some moisture intrusion is inevitable and designs the entire wall system around managing it safely, rather than pretending it will never happen. There's a reason this problem has become more visible in the last 2 decades rather than a century ago. Energy codes have tightened dramatically since the 1970s energy crisis, pushing builders toward increasingly airtight construction with each passing decade. At the same time, ventilation requirements in residential building codes lagged behind for years, only becoming standard and enforced more recently in many regions. This created exactly the gap described earlier. Homes tight enough to trap moisture, but not yet required to mechanically remove it. The good news is that this gap is closing. Modern energy codes in many countries now require mechanical ventilation as a mandatory companion to airtight construction, not an optional upgrade. Builders who understand building science are increasingly using continuous exterior insulation, smart vapor retarders, and properly vented bath and kitchen fans as standard practice rather than premium options. Homes built to current best practices can be both extremely energy efficient and safe from trapped moisture, but only when every layer of the system is considered together rather than treated as separate, unrelated decisions. For anyone living in an older home, there is a strange kind of reassurance in understanding why it has survived this long without rotting from the inside. It was never sealed tightly enough to trap the moisture in the first place. For anyone in a newer home, the takeaway is not that the house is dangerous, but that the mechanical systems designed to manage moisture, the bathroom fans, the ventilation systems, the properly sealed vapor layers, are not optional extras. They are the modern replacement for the accidental ventilation that older homes always had built in. Before you finish watching, if you found this useful, subscribing helps more of these deep dives into how buildings actually work, reach people who are curious about the systems hiding behind their own walls. The next time you are in your bathroom after a hot shower, watch how long the mirror stays fogged. Watch whether the fan actually pulls that steam out of the room or just moves it around. That small detail is a window into a much larger system working, or failing to work, exactly as engineers designed it. And it raises a question worth sitting with. How many other systems in the average home are quietly succeeding or quietly failing, completely invisible, until someone finally opens the wall?